The age-old question, do you need a whole new fucking diet when you're cutting versus bulking? Absolutely not, and here's why. So one of the biggest mistakes I see is completely just people reinventing the wheel every time they go through a different phase. Oh, I got to eat this when I build. I got to eat this when I cut. I got to eat clean. I have a cheat day when I'm bulking. It doesn't really matter. Neither is necessary, because nutrition shouldn't change. It's just the amount that really needs to change here, because your gut doesn't care whether you're bulking or cutting. We want to focus on good digestion. Good training equals good results. Your body suddenly doesn't digest different foods because your goal has changed. If oats, rice, potatoes, or the stuff that you're eating while you're cutting or you're building agree with your stomach, don't stop eating them. You simply just adjust the portions and move on. Of course, if variety, you've been eating the same foods for like myself for like 10 years and you're getting a little bit sick of it, well, manipulate some things. You don't need to revolutionize absolutely everything. Some things you could simply change. Some sauces, some seasonings. Try a different protein instead of mince, use tuna. There's lots of different stuff, because the gut is responsible for breaking down food into nutrients your body can absorb. If your digestion is poor and you've just flooded it with all this new stuff, energy is going to be lower. Your training suffers, recovery suffers, and consistency suffers because you feel like shit and you're bloated. Find foods that your body likes. I love steak and I love rice, so I fucking eat those. The only thing that really changes is a little bit less rice when you're cutting and more rice when you're building. That's a completely exaggeration, but when cutting, your body needs energy. If food doesn't provide enough, it's gonna rip that from fat. That's what a deficit is. So that's what we want to be, in a slight calorie deficit, to make sure that that's happening. Now, when we're building, you're simply giving your body more energy, so slightly bit more increase in food, so slightly more rice, to use those new raw materials to build muscle because of how hard you're training. Foods do not change. Your portions do. Just a quick question. I'm guessing you absolutely butchered your last diet and you ended up being a little bit sort of skinny fat, and then you came out of it and you probably bulked a little bit too hard, got a bit excited, and now I've spent the last 6 months trying to fix it. This is exactly why my coaching exists. Hit that link below, bro. Book out that call and we'll map out the next 90 days so you do not make this mistake twice. Anyway, back to it. Keep it simple, tasty, repeatable. Same foods, different amounts. I will die on this hill. Also, this is why protein never changes, because when we train, protein equals muscle. Protein is the constant, whether you're building or whether you're cutting, because protein equals it builds and protects. Training is the signal. So we want to be training hard regardless of whether we're cutting or we're building, because then protein supplies the amino acids, and those amino acids from mechanical tension help build muscle. Because when you're dieting, it becomes even more important. You're trying to hold on to as much muscle as possible. You're not just trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose fat. So we need to make sure protein's high, training intensity is high, and then you will develop this great physique that looks like it trains in 90 days if you keep everything the same. Why keep it simple, tasty, repeatable works? You don't need diet food, bulk food, fat loss food. Excuse me, you need food you'll actually eat for months. This is all I eat. Chicken, mince, tuna, eggs, crumpets, rice, potato, pasta, yogurt, protein powder. And then I season the fuck out of it. Salt and pepper, paprika, steak rubs, whatever the fuck you can get. Taco seasoning is one of my favorites. And then use some sauces. They are low calorie sauce options with anything. And if you're building and you need extra cheap calories, get the stub sauce, the smoky barbecue. That shit's just full of calories, easy calories that you can digest. All you need to do here is adjust carbs to the new goal. Because this is the one thing that I do with my clients, is I just adjust carbs, because around the time that you're coming out of a cut, your body is quite sensitive. Carbohydrates are tolerated quite well from the body, and I only increase that by about 5% on top of your calories, all going into carbohydrates. Once things have sort of settled down, it usually, after a hard dieting phase, takes anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the person. Then we can start to increase protein, increase fats. But right at that point of finishing the cut, you want to be looking at just increasing carbohydrates. Your protein stays the same. Your fats stay fairly stable, so long as everything hormonally is feeling okay, joints are feeling okay. That's where potentially fats would increase. But the body adapts without huge swings in hunger or unnecessary fat gain. When you stay lean through a build, you put on more muscle. The goal is not to add weight. The goal is to add quality muscle tissue. okay? Because we want to look at here, same foods, different portions, plus time equals a different physique. This is what I went through for 4 years. I haven't changed my food. I have just changed the portions. So stop starting over. Your body doesn't need a new menu every 12 weeks. It needs consistency. Things that agree with your gut. You hit your protein, hit your micros with fruit and vegetables. Keep fucking hydrated, 3 liters plus if you're training hard. And it fits your lifestyle because you save time. Time is your most important asset. Stop wasting it by starting over every time to think that you need to eat something different. Then simply adjust the portions depending on what you're building or cutting. The guys who I see who get lean and stay muscular aren't constantly looking for better foods. They're just getting better at repeating the basics. If this has been you, you've just been starting over, bulk cut, changing foods, looking for that secret source of the right foods, I can tell you right now, you're going to be searching for a very long time. In that time, you could have booked a call and I could have mapped out the next 90 days to get you looking like you train, being less fat, and overall changing your life.